My experience has been great here at Weatherford College.
I like the convenience of the location.
It's been great working and going to school, both at the same time.
The staff has been very helpful with my education.
Danny Henson, Bridgeport Bulls. Boy, you guys did upset Springtown's homecoming.
Well, we had a good game. I tell you, that was a good competitive game. I thought both teams played hard. At times we weren't real sharp on either, but the kids played hard on both sides. It was a good game.
You say you weren't real sharp. Was that largely due to the rain?
I think a lot of it had to do with that. It rained pretty good. At times the ball was getting wet. Fortunately, we were playing on their artificial surface, so we didn't have to deal with the mud or anything. But it rained enough to get things probably a little bit messy. And we had a tough week last week because of the rain also with practices. And I was a little concerned going into that game offensively that we had so many practices that were disrupted from the weather. And so that might have had a little bit to do with our offense not being quite as sharp as what we'd been.
It doesn't really dampen your confidence in this team's capabilities, does it?
No, it doesn't. Another thing too, Springtown has a good team. They have a good defense, and that has something to do too with how good you look. So all those things combined, we're happy to get out there with the win and happy with that game.
Who do you have coming in next week, and set that one up for us, Coach?
Well, we've got Prosper coming in. That's always a tough game. They're coming off of a pretty disappointing upset loss this past week to Alvarado, which is our next opponent also. So we're getting to see a lot of teams kind of playing each other that we're playing. But I'm expecting a really tough physical game with Prosper, just like it is every year with them.
Maybe you get practice in this week without getting wet.
Well, we really would like that. That last week was pretty tough with all that rain. It was untimely for us, but we're hoping to get a good week this week and get out there and maybe get some of our sharpness on offense back.
Great, Coach. Good luck. Let's talk to a couple of players.
Sure thing.
Coach Henson, a couple of featured players from Friday night's game. Introduce them for us.
Sure. Right next to me here is one of our senior captains, Dylan Lingo, plays defensive end for us, and next to him is our sophomore running back, Gabe Huerta. Both those guys had big games in the game Friday night, and we mentioned earlier a little bit about the rain. And when, of course, you get in conditions like that, your defense really has to step up and play well, which ours did. And Dylan made one of the big quarterback sacks to stop a big drive. And then offensively, you have to rely a little bit more on your running game. And so Gabe stepped up really good and had a good second half, especially when we had to rely on that. So both these guys had big games Friday night, and looking forward to them having a good year.
Terrific. Thanks, Coach. We'll talk to these guys here just for a couple minutes. Don, tell us how much fun is it really to play in the rain?
Well, I mean, sometimes it cools us off, because, it's hot out there and we get tired and everything. But then again, it has its disadvantages because, it gets our pads heavy and we get drained easily. It's all right though.
It was a great game. You spoiled those guys' homecoming for them. Rate your own performance in that game.
Well, I felt like I did all right. I mean, I stepped up when we needed some big plays, and I just did what I had to do. So
super. Gabe, we got to talk to you last year. Sounds like you're having another good year for yourself.
I think so far I am right now.
It's early on.
Yes. Hopefully it gets better, though.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your performance, your own personal performance Friday night in that game with Springtown.
I think I did pretty good. I think I started off good, and then after that, started getting a little bit worse, and then after it went on, I got better.
What about next week? You have who's it, Prosper coming in? Has Coach already started prepping you for that one? How are you going to prepare yourself?
We're going to prepare for it today. We're just going to work hard. We're going to bust our butts and have a good practice.
Terrific. You, Gabe?
Just work hard in practice and go 100% every down.
Like I was talking to Coach, maybe you get to practice in the dry at least this week, huh?
Yep, hopefully.
What about your summer? What did you guys, spend time doing this summer? Did you get time away from football at all?
Like most of the time, I was working, and then sometimes I'd come up here and lift, or go outside or hang out with friends. That's about it. So
just waiting with bated breath for 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm. I worked out, and I worked in the heat for a while. Painted. That's about it.
Okay, super. Your family from here?
What?
Is your family from here, Don?
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, I live in Springtown, but I go here. So.
Big family?
Yeah, about 7. So
Other football players?
I have a brother that plays football. He's on varsity with me too. But other than that, no one else has played football. So it's just us that play sports.
Terrific. I think you told me last year you started with Pee Wee.
No, I started with midget, and from there moved on. Yep.
Terrific. Best of luck to you guys Friday night and on the season.
Thank you.